Hey everybody, my name is Jen and this is Jen Geigley Knits. If you were here last week, you'll remember I had a really nice black eye and it's almost better already. So it's pretty much just hidden behind my glasses now. So we can move on from that. Quick healing process. So I'm very glad that that's kind of behind me. Feeling much better. Here's Dinah. For everybody who missed her last week, a bunch of people commented and said, "Where's Dinah?" She's here. You want to come up? There she is. So here she is for everybody who missed her last week. Now that it's summer and the kids are home, she kind of hangs out with them sometimes in their room. That's where they are right now. They're playing some games back there. But she likes to be wherever I am, which I'm very honored. So she's so sweet and such a good knitting helper. Oh, she's purring so loud. I have continued working on the sweater that I found in my whips last week. That is almost complete. And so I couldn't let that go back downstairs. I kept it right here so I could work on it. And this has been my on-the-go project, is finishing these sleeves, which I was making 2 at a time, and there's not much left to go on these. I am a tiny bit concerned about the yarn I have left. I think I have 1 full skein left, which, I don't have a lot of sleeve left. But what I really need to do next is evaluate where I'm at with this. Because, okay, so the whole body is finished. This is from the Rowan Cotton Cashmere booklet. It's a few years old, like a lot of years old. 2017, I think I said last time. And in this book, the whole pattern is written knitted flat and seamed, but I did kind of change that and I did the sleeves in the round, obviously, and then it's bottom up. And so I did knit this in the round as well. And then you just have to seam. You like those tails, huh? You just have to seam the shoulders now. So I'm trying to see what would be the best seaming method for these shoulders because it's seed stitch. So I might do a 3-needle bind off and have a visible seam, but I might try Kitchener or some kind of zigzag back and forth seam to see what they all kind of look like first before I commit. Because when you match these up, it's not too bad actually. I could probably make that work without doing a 3-needle bind off. I don't know. I have to try. I have to try all the ways to see what looks best to me and then I'll decide. But I want to get the sleeve or the shoulders seamed because then, only then will I know the length of the sleeve and what that needs to be. You can't really guess because this is kind of a drop shoulder. And so it's going to hit somewhere around here, but I have to match that up before I stop knitting the sleeves. Hopefully I have enough left of the yarn and then I have to do the ribbing on the neck and it'll be totally done. Just hoping that 1 skein gets me through both sleeves and the neck. I'm gonna be playing yarn chicken probably, but this sweater is so pretty. It's gonna be so worth it. And so I'll just do my best to make it work. There's one thing I want to do today, one thing I want to accomplish, and it's been on my to-do list for way too long, and it's been something I've been avoiding, but you might relate, and I'm almost embarrassed to show you what it is because you'll be like, oh, come on. But there's been something holding me back from doing this, and it's just the silliest thing. I just need to pick a day and tackle it and do it. So today is that day. Last year on my birthday, so a year ago, I got a Serger, which is something I have wanted for the longest time. My family gave me the Serger for my birthday. It has been sitting in the box ever since because I have been too intimidated to thread it. It can't be that big of a deal, right? Like I just need to thread this thing and get it going. This just opens up a whole new world of sewing for me, I think, and it can help me have more finished edges on the insides of my garments. And I'm so excited about it, for dresses and all the different things. I've just been so excited to try this, but I've also been too scared to try this. So I just want to pick today as the day that I figure this out finally, get it going. It looks like it comes pre-threaded with these. So maybe I practice with this first, but then I want to get yellow thread at the store. So I'm going to run to Joann's in a bit because a while ago, Denise Byron, who's a knitter and sewist, had a creative bug class or one of those online classes that you can take. And she was talking about her serger, and she said, and I'm going to run with this idea. She said, pick a signature color, like your signature color, get that thread, thread it onto your serger, and just use that for everything, because it's going to be on the inside of things anyway. And it's like your little secret color for your inside seams that, you know, you can look back and see all the things you've made. And it's always like that serger color thread. And I think hers was gold, but I'm obviously going to do yellow. And so I'm going to go pick up the thread today. this is going to be my first project, is the IKEA floral fabric. I'm going to go pre-wash this, and then I'm going to spend the afternoon figuring out how to thread my serger finally. This is like a very typical model that I think a lot of people have, or a lot of beginners start with. This is just the one that like was recommended, I think, by that class that I took. Anyway, just like I would think I would be able to figure this out. It does look really scary though when I've looked online, but I have the manual. I'm sure there's YouTube videos, so I'm gonna figure this out. How hard can it be, right? I'm sure, I mean, lots of people have done this. If I could figure out a sock knitting machine and master that whole process, I would think I'd be able to thread my serger once and get it going, hopefully. It would be so cool to like have a finished edge on my IKEA dress, which I have a pattern for. I have everything ready to go. I just need to figure this out because it would elevate the result, I think, so much. And it's just time to do the serger.
Going to Joann's.
Fun fact, this is my friend's husband in this display photo at Joann's. I can't pass up all the yarn on the way back to the thread, so I might as well check it out and see if there's anything new. Not much new here, but I always like to look. Back to the wall of thread. Let's see if I can figure this out. Okay, moment of truth. Oh my gosh, I think I did it. Look at that. I think I did it. Okay. I did it. It was not that bad. This is so exciting to me. This really does open up a whole new world of possibilities. And now my dress inside seams can be finished. I'm so excited. This week's video is going to be one of those multiple days process videos, and I have no idea how far I'm going to get, but I am happy that I at least got my serger threaded this week. That is such a huge step. I am so excited that it works. First try. I don't know why I did not think it was going to serge. I was so scared to do this, and then it totally works, and I'm so excited to get started. Yesterday, I forgot to wear my Marimekko like I had planned on doing because I have a lot of this in my closet and I never wear it, and I'm going to make a point this summer to take out the Marimekko and wear it. It's very colorful, and I think that sometimes that's what holds me back because I wear black all of the time. It's my go-to. So this feels like a lot of color, and it is. It's like all the colors, and this is just a top. I'm just wearing it with some drawstring, like easy black comfy pants. But this makes me think of like quilt blocks. It's really fun. This was a Marimekko Uniqlo collab from a few years back, but I just couldn't resist like the chartreuse and the fun brights. So anyway, I'm wearing my Marimekko, proud of myself. But okay, where are we at? We are in full summer, like busy mode, but we just got home from summer school. Lotus is in her room working on a crafty project, which is turning out so awesome. She is sewing patches on this jean jacket, and it's so cool. Let me show you just for a minute because you have to see this. Also, if you happen to have any really cool patches laying around, like vintage cool, any kind of vintage patches or music band related patches, let me know because we're trying to fill up her whole jacket, and she wants to wear the jacket to her shows because she's in a band. She's also thinking about wearing it for senior pictures, and it's gonna look so cool when it's done. It's inspired by these 3 black jackets that Boy Genius, the band, it's like Phoebe Bridgers, Lucy Dacus, Julian Baker. If you don't know who I'm talking about, they're like a really popular band right now. They made these jackets with vintage patches, and they looked so cool. And Lotus is like, I want to make one. And I'm like, I will help you make one. So we've been gathering patches from various sources. My friend Erica used to run a vintage shop, and she collects vintage stuff. So she had a bunch to give us, and we've been, sourcing them from other places too. But if you happen to have some patches that you don't need, comment below because we will take your patches. She's trying to fill up the whole thing, and it takes a lot of patches. So we're gonna sew on everything we have. We ironed a bunch on. It's like a mix of both. So we'll take any kind of patch. But yeah, let me know if you have patches. Anyway, that's her crafty project. Bowie is working on his animations in his room. So we're all like in our crafty zones. And I just washed and ironed the IKEA bedding. So I'm using the bedding for this project with my serger. It's my first serger project with the yellow thread and the yellow fabric. And I'm like, I have this huge smile on my face because I'm so excited to start this. And the project I have decided to start with the bedding, and there's so much fabric. Like this is a twin duvet cover, and I cut around, there's one seam. That's what's nice about using bedding too, is that there's one seam around, but it doesn't go on the one long side. And so I just cut the seamed part so it opens up flat, and then I ironed it, and it's so much fabric. It's like, it's a ton. So I'll be able to make something else too, for sure, at least 1 or 2 more things. But the project I'm going to make first with this is called the envelope Now I forgot what it's called. Let me go look and see what it's called. It's called the envelope dress. I was thinking it had a more complicated name, but it's called the envelope dress. You've probably seen it. It's very popular. It is from Cris Sews, and it's one of those no-waste patterns where you just cut like rectangles, and the way it comes together makes a dress. But it's no waste, so I think it only requires 1.5 yards of fabric, and then the length of your fabric is how long it will be. And since this is so long, I'm going to measure one of my long maxi dresses just to see how long I can start with, because I just want to make one big cut to get my rectangles and then save the rest of the fabric so I don't mess it up. And since this is a no waste rectangle pattern, I can just take off, right off the top. I just have to look which way the grain needs to go, and also which way I want my pattern, my flowers to go, because I want this to go up and down with the print. It's such an oversized, cool print. I think this is gonna look so cool. So the envelope dress is like a long, almost caftan style dress. And I can totally see myself as wearing this to the pool, as like a swimsuit cover up, or just as a dress. I have a lot of friends who have made this and it looks so cool. And I can see myself making it in like a solid also. I have this other IKEA fabric that is a plain blue gray, like a really muted, beautiful blue gray. And I would love to have that in this dress as well. And then I think I'm gonna add pockets, because I love a long dress with pockets, and I just feel like they're necessary and they're not that hard to add. And now that I have this serger, I feel like everything is gonna be so beautiful and easy. So I think from a quick glance of pattern, I think I just cut one big back rectangle, 2 narrower front rectangles, and then I believe that I serge 3 sides of each rectangle. I have to look again to make sure that's correct. And then I can do the rest on my regular sewing machine, but I'm excited to serge something and to have these beautiful, nice edges. Like, this is so exciting. So I'm gonna go take a look at the pattern and cut some fabric and actually try to make something. I'm not promising I'm going to have this done in time for like the ending of this video. You might have to check back next week, but we'll see. I mean, I don't know how fast this is gonna go. I don't know how much time I have left today to actually work on this. And then we have some things going on tomorrow, so we'll see where I end up. But I would really like to get this like halfway started, and then, I don't know, we'll see. The serger, I'm so excited. Also, just from like doing my little test on the serger, it goes so fast. Like, I have done zigzag before on my machine, or like the pretend overlock, whatever that is, stitch on my regular machine, but it takes a really long time on a normal machine. And so this serger is like almost scary fast and so exciting. And then it just slices that edge off, and it's just, I've never done this before, so it's very new and exciting to me. So anyway, I'm gonna lay this out back here and measure out to see how much I need to cut. So the Cris Sews pattern, and I think she has a book as well, like a zero waste pattern book, because she has many patterns, but this is just one of the online PDF patterns you can just like download. It's not like your typical paper pattern. There's no paper pieces. It gives you almost a worksheet and a formula based on your measurements. And then you cut these rectangles. You do not have to have the paper pieces. And this is the first kind of pattern like that I've done where it's not a paper pattern to lay out, which is so like freeing. And it makes me feel like I can just whip this up a lot faster because I don't have to cut out the paper pattern and place it and then, cut the fabric, and it's like extra steps. So this is really exciting, and it makes me feel like it's going to be like a little speedier. So I'm going to fill out my numbers in the formula and the pattern, and then try to lay this out and measure how much I need. And I think it's going to be fun and exciting. I'm excited. before you criticize my process, my on the floor cutting process, just know that we all have a method to our madness, and this is the way I do this. I have a cutting mat, but it's not very big, and so I normally just lay everything out on my floor. I start with scissors. I found that there's a one size fits all pattern, and then there's the other pattern that uses your measurements, and so I went up a little bit and cut it out with the scissors, and then I did get out my cutting mat and my rotary cutter and like squared off everything really, really nicely. So this is the front and back piece, like sandwiched together. I folded it, and I have to separate them because the front is going to be split in half, and also it is 1 inch smaller than the back. And so I'm going to separate these, and then I'll probably do that with the rotary cutter. I've got it like all perfectly squared off and straight now. And then I think I'm gonna serge my edges, which is gonna be so much fun. I'm very excited. I have to look and see, like, is there a built-in 1/4 inch seam allowance on a serger? I have to figure that out. I'm guessing yes. Anyway, this is a fun adventure. I'm really excited already about this fabric and how this is going to look potentially. I'm kind of making it a little bit too big, and then I can always, try it on and take it in, or, figure out the width of things. I don't know, we'll see. I think it's supposed to be oversized, so you can't go wrong with that. So I'm just gonna go for it. Okay, I got all my pieces cut out. I feel like I'm breaking a sweat because it's like 90 some degrees outside, and even with the AC on in here, I'm like crawling around on the floor, and so it was a whole process, and now I'm like, whew. But I got the back piece cut, 2 front pieces split and cut. I'm a tiny bit worried that I didn't, I cannot remember I was kind of rushing through. I just wanted to get this all cut out. That's like the biggest part of sewing, is cutting out the fabric. I don't remember if I cut this so that the front is gonna match up. And now I'm a little bit worried, but if it's really not right, I do have all of this left if I have to redo the fronts, and the fronts are smaller. We'll see what it looks like. If I should just go lay it out and see, but or maybe I just don't care and it's fine. I didn't think about that part. There is a seam that runs, this is like a V, it's like a deep V. It's a little bit deep. I'm also gonna look at the deep V because I don't want it super low. But there's a seam that runs down the front. And in my mind, of course, this would match up, like the sides would match with this floral pattern. But if I just screw that up, we'll see. Or I can redo it. I do have a ton of this left. We'll see. Yikes. Anyway, it might be fine. But now I'm serging around 3 sides. I'm just gonna keep working on this throughout the day and night. I don't know how much time I have left today and tomorrow, but I'll get as far as I can and then check in again. Okay, update. That's what the fronts look like. They're almost totally fine. And with the seam, it's gonna be off a little bit anyway, and I'm gonna carry on because that's totally fine with me. So I did go ahead and put safety pins in my front pieces so I could remember which sides face each other, because I think later I'm gonna be confused. And those are the ones that get sewn together. And so now I get to use my serger, and I get to serge like long, short, long on this back piece, and long, short, long on each of the front pieces. And then I'll use my regular sewing machine for the rest, but I'm very excited to use my serger. Okay, so I got very excited because I successfully did 1 whole long edge, and it's perfect. It looks fantastic. But then when I went to do the second edge, something happened, and it isn't making like the right thing anymore. And now that I let it run without any fabric in it, because I was like kind of freaked out. And then now it's just threads, like just single threads coming out without the little loop-de-loops. Something's not right. I don't know what happened. And in my limited serger experience, since this is like my first anything, I guess I just go and, do I go rethread it? Because there's something wrong. It's like there's threads jammed or something, and I don't know how to fix it. This is fun. Okay. I think I'm just gonna rethread it because that's all I've done. Okay, wish me luck. Okay, when I open the machine, I can see that the thread that was going through this hole is not going through that hole anymore. So that's probably what's wrong, but I think I have to start all the way over because you have to start in order and do all the things, and then, I don't know. So I'm just gonna start over. I don't know why I thought that I wouldn't be rethreading the serger again today. I thought I could just thread it once and it would stay that way, which is like a silly beginner mistake because I have to rethread my regular sewing machine all the time. So why did I think this would just be like, I don't know. I think I was just so afraid of it that I thought I could just do it once and leave it. But that was good practice. I did not, this is probably a bad idea, but I tried to just do it off of memory and I didn't look at the instructions again, which was probably really dumb, but I'm gonna test it on some fabric right now, like scrap fabric, and see if I did it right. And if I didn't, I guess I'll look at the instructions and do it again. Why am I the way that I am? I don't know. Is it working? It worked. No way. Unbelievable. It worked. I did learn something today. If nothing else, if I don't finish this dress, whatever, at least I learned to thread my serger all by myself. And even if it got a little bit messed up a bit ago, I can fix it and start over. And so that is exciting for me. Wow, I'm shocked. That's cool. It is now evening and all I got done was serging all these pieces, so that is good. And so now I'm gonna move on to my normal sewing machine. I am gonna keep the serger out because if I do pockets, which I'm still on the fence, but I'm pretty sure I need pockets. I won't regret that. I will serge around the pocket edges, and then I think I'll be done with the serger. I think for the rest of it is just top stitching, regular straight stitch. I think my next step is attaching the two fronts, making the neckline, then you measure down for the armholes, do the sides, then I will put in the pockets. I mean, it's gonna take longer, but I think it's worth it. And then it's pretty straightforward. There's a seam across the back, but yeah, so with everything serged, that was just like the fun challenge of the day to get that done. I'm probably gonna I might set up my other sewing machine downstairs in the basement just so the family can hang out here. And I mean, it's kind of loud. They like to watch TV and hang out, and this kind of takes up the whole table. So maybe I'll go downstairs for the rest of it. And I have my ironing board downstairs, which is easier to just kind of go back and forth, press things and go sew instead of running upstairs and downstairs over and over again. So I think I'm gonna go set up down there and then see what else I can get done. Again, I am not promising that in this video I will have a finished dress. because it's almost Saturday and I like to upload on Saturdays. So this might be a two-part thing where you see the reveal next week. It's kind of been a while since I've sewn anything, so I have to, it's like I'm really taking my time not to mess things up or miss simple steps, or, you know, like I have to get kind of back into it. But this is the perfect project. It's really simple, and I want it to turn out well because I really like this fabric. So wish me luck. I am downstairs in our basement amongst the skateboards and snowboards and my makeshift sewing station. And I'm going to be sewing the front two panels of the dress together down the middle, also making the neckline. And then I think the next step is to sew the shoulder seam. And I'm going to see if I can get that all done. And then that might be where I have to stop, but we'll see how far I get. I'm just going to go for it and see where I end up. So I have everything pinned and marked, and this is a little different because you just sew this tiny little bit up here. Then this whole section is left open for the neckline, which looks way too long, I know. But with the adjustment I'm going to be making, it makes it a lot shorter, and it makes kind of like a V neck. And then I've got my iron heating up so I can open up my seams and press that and do the next step. So I'm going to get started. I know it can be annoying to have to get out the iron, but look how crisp and nice these seams look when they're pressed, and look at that serging detail, and look at the neckline. Look how nice this is going to be. It's so worth it, and I don't mind ironing. I think it's really fun, actually. Instant gratification for sure. Very satisfying. So I'm ready to top stitch down these two sides, or the middle of my front. And now I realize it doesn't matter if these were going to match up, because they were never going to, especially with a 1/2 inch seam allowance on each side. So I'm just going with it, and I think it's going to look so good. I'm hoping. I just have to show you how cool this is already looking, and how that top stitch is catching that seam allowance there. And I'm trying really hard to make a nice straight stitch. Sometimes I get going too fast, but I'm going nice and slow. And I'm going to do the top stitch on both sides of this front, and it's looking so cool already. I'm so excited for this. All right, one side done. I'm going to do the other side, and then I might have to take Bowie to the pool. So we'll see if that might be all I get done. Okay, this is where we're sitting at this point in time. I am going to take my kids to the pool now, so I'm going to stop where I'm at because I'm at a good stopping point, and I feel like I accomplished a lot. Honestly, the biggest thing this week has been threading my serger and using it for the first time successfully, threading it twice, getting that extra practice in. I definitely feel like I could rethread it now without any, like, it doesn't scare me at all anymore, especially if I want to make something like in black. I would absolutely change it out and use black thread. That's like the only thing I think I would like. If I'm using lighter colors, I'm going to keep the yellow on there, but now I'm not afraid of it, and that's a huge accomplishment for me this week. And just the leveling up of a serger, I didn't realize how much it would clean up my sewing and make it feel so much more professional. So here's that neckline that I just top stitched, but look at how crisp and clean with that serged edge. I am so excited, and how flat and nice that lays. It's just really changed the game for me, and so I have no regrets. Finally got it out of the box, and I feel so good about this week, even if I didn't get to finish the dress, which I'm kind of sad. I'm so sorry if you thought that I was going to finish this by the end of the episode. It's not happening this week. But yeah, I want to take my kids swimming. I'm just going to finish this up here, I'll just try it on to kind of see where we're at with this and show you the length and everything. So there's a tiny little section up here that's stitched together. Did I top stitch that? Oh yeah, I did. And that's part of it. Okay. So this construction is so interesting to me that and I love the zero waste thing. Like I could just cut off a rectangle of this fabric and leave the rest there for something else. And then it just doesn't waste anything at all. So this is the neck opening here. And then normally, if you go by the pattern, you would sew the back right here to these shoulders. And here's the problem that most people run into that I've seen online is that if you do that right there, there's some bunching the way this lays, and which is fine. Sometimes people like it that way, but some people have been just shifting this back to wherever that hits nicely on you where it stops bunching, which seems to be right there for me, which leaves a little section back here, and then your back section falls back a little lower. So you just sew that back on before you mark your armholes, get that where you want it to be, then do your arms and the side seams. And then I'm going to add, I did make pockets last night. So here's my little matching set of adorable pockets that I'm going to sew in, or I'm going to attempt to. I have to refresh my memory on how to do that, but I know it's not that hard. I just serge the edges of these to get them ready, and then I'll, try this on after I make the adjustment up here and see where my hands fall. But here, let's just step back and take a look at the length of this. So this is with it shifted back a little bit, so it's a little shorter in the front, and then you'll do the back. It looks really funny right now, but how summery and fun. And I think it's the perfect use of this yellow floral, like 60s vibe IKEA fabric. And if I didn't mention it before, this is an IKEA duvet cover. It's a twin. I have made other dresses out of IKEA duvet covers. It's a great weight. I just really like their bold prints, and I love this oversized floral. Like, how fun is this? It is summery. If I was done with this, I would totally wear it to the pool today. How perfect for that. Like, I really can see it like all summer, easy, around the house, to the pool. If I mess it up totally, it could be a nightgown. It's just one of those like easy throw on. It can be a cover up, it can be a dress. But I am thinking, really, I do definitely want to get some black linen and make this in black with pockets, and I would wear the heck out of that. Plus the other I was talking about earlier, I have the gray blue IKEA fabric downstairs I want to use, and that would be really cute with this. So I'm already thinking I want to make this again. I love the simplicity of it. I love the zero waste. I love how far you can make the yardage go. And I love like the little top stitch detail. I kind of like this neck, and I like that it's adjustable and you can make it hit where you want it to be. So it's very interesting and fun and very simple. I'm not a super experienced sewist. I've made a few simple dresses. I've made like the Wixton long dress. I've made the Sonia Phillips tops and dresses. And this is like my third probably dress pattern that I've attempted. And this is the Chris Woods Sews envelope dress. So that is it for this week. Thank you for hanging out with me while I did something a little bit different than my normal knitting stuff. I have been working on my Tinda sweater, which is the cream sweater with the red color work. I'm just working on a nice little sleeve there, so not too much exciting to show with that one. And then I've been working on the gray seed stitch Rowan sweater that I found in my whips last week. I'm just working on those sleeves like kind of as a on-the-go project for when I'm leaving the house to take it with me. I might take those sleeves to the pool with me today and to swimming lessons next week. So that's my knitting, but mostly it was just like a last-minute decision to start working with this that really got me excited this week, and using my serger, which I'm so excited about. Like, it is the season, I think, for sewing. It just kind of gets to be on the brain, and you want to, I don't know, I've seen some things online I want to make. I've seen a lot of dresses, which is a simple thing that I can handle. So yeah, maybe more IKEA duvet covers. Maybe I'll just get some black linen and make another one of these, but this is exciting. Next week, if you come back, I promise I'm gonna have a finished dress to show you, so stop back and see that. I upload a new video every Saturday morning, so come hang out with me on weekends. It's very fun. I really appreciate your comments and your interactions in the comments, and if you have any advice or tips and tricks about sergers or sewing patterns, let me know, because I do have all that IKEA fabric still that I need to figure out what to do with. This is just my first little project, but I need ideas still for the heavier fabric. I'm still not deciding on what, like I need a tote bag, I think. Maybe pants or a skirt. I still haven't figured it out. But anyway, thanks for hanging out. Happy Father's Day this weekend if you're celebrating the dads in your life. I hope you're having a good weekend. I hope you have a good week ahead. Like and subscribe if you want to hang out again, or check back next Saturday and I'll have another video. And thanks. I will see you in the next one. Bye.